Greetings, this is Eric Basir, aka The Black Rhino, and I have a quick screen movie to show you what I did and how I did it. And this is a portrait, a group portrait of characters from the H.A.L.F. Series. It is a great teen science fiction series, and the author and her book featured right here on Amazon. She got 4 out of 5 stars, 59 customer reviews, Kindle hardcover paperback, and she's got audio as well. And when she assigned this to me, she said, I really want you to do a group of everyone. And she gave me a piece of paper. Not a piece of paper. She emailed me descriptions of the characters. I printed it out and I kept that paper with me. I'm obsessed over it. Did all kinds of sketches and tried to find inspiration. And I want to show you. If this is going to be a group, I thought this is going to be a photo album. So I was trying to think of big groups. I thought of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Found this. And I actually started to sketch up some things from this that I don't have on screen for you. But then I ran into this, Revolver by the Beatles. I've never seen the album. I'm sure I've heard songs from the album. But I really liked it. And I liked the spaghetti stringy hair. I liked the kind of Where's Waldo look. The author wasn't too hip on the Where's Waldo look, so I had to be a little more conservative. And as you'll see, here they are. I think that's Paul McCartney on the left. So this is Ian, and got Ringo, which is Tex, and we have. I think that's George Harrison, and that would be Erica. And over here, maybe, yeah, John Lennon. So I went with Jack. Jack is his name. And of course, I'm not copying the faces. I'm not doing that. I'm using inspiration for poses. And then I placed, like you see in here, I placed the other characters. This is Electo, this is Dr. Sturgis, this is Dr. Randall, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn off these layers here and give you the draft. So as you see, it kind of started out this way. I was kind of getting some ideas going, and I essentially built up from there to this. So this was, this became, the final product essentially. And from what I call the composition sketch, just to give me an idea of where things are going. I also wanted to employ a ruler called the basically the golden ruler, and there's a ray coming out from the corner, and from the ray we're connected to various characters. So each of the characters is following one of these rays or some of these rays, or they're being touched by it. So I'll turn on the final. You can't go wrong when you stick with rulers. You just can't go wrong. You got to use the right ruler, of course. I did try something called Golden Spiral, and that just was forcing things a little too much for me. I'm trying to get this ruler up here. I'm using Clip Studio Paint. There we go. And you're getting the layers in here. See how it stretches across the face here. She's in between there, he's in between, she's in between. This goes right through her eye, and I like that. I like some of these rays to go through the eye if possible. And the way I work is I like the flat colors. I like flat coloring, and it may be because I'm just not very skilled, but I do like the flat coloring that you see in comic books from the 80s. That's where I grew up. And you know, it's not so rendered as they say, but you know, you do depend on certain elements. So for example, here with Erica, and so I just basically did my ink. Let me turn off the background. Get rid of that background color. There we go. Okay, did the ink. And let me turn off this draft. So I did my ink based off of the draft over here. You just gotta, I try to manage my layers, but sometimes you just can't do it right, you know. So there, that was her. Yeah, that was her. And I built it up from there to this over here. And do a little bit for the hair coming off the sides there with the ears. And there's my flat color, or just my color. Here's the hair, and then I did you know, the clothing, and that's color shirt right there. And what I like to do is I make a you know, a little gradient map, hue saturation, and I pull out the brightness, or I expand the brightness to get highlights, and then turn this on. And then I do a hue and saturation and pull down the brightness for the shading. I just want one level of shading outside of my inking. I kind of like to be heavy on the pen or the brush, depending on how you look at it. I use the G pen tool. I've bought pens, but really nothing is satisfying for me as the G pen. And then, of course, one important thing that I like to do is highlight, specular highlights in the eyes. So I always make a separate layer for that. And I do the black, and then I make it a little target here. This is what you call a reference function, and or something like that. And then I dump the white in there. It's just perfect for me, for what I'm trying to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a fan of Natalie Wright's work, you probably enjoyed it even more, and if not, you got to check it out. And you can also check out what I do, and you just go to the Black Rhino. Got so many things with black in it here, and this is my blog, and I invite you to indulge in my upcoming graphic novel, Badine and the Secret of the Sami, BadineSecret.com. It's a new graphic novel coming out in May 1st, we hope. It's all done, actually, so just tightening things up, getting editors and translators. And it's a wonderful little story about the Swedish queen's adopted African son who leads his siblings on an adventure to save the future of the humanity. And it takes place in 18th century Sweden. And I have all of these little 4 mini sagas, and you can read about the story behind the story. So these are very short stories with artwork. Hope you enjoy that. Thanks for watching.